Hi guys. Uh I let me check if I'm live yet or not. If you can see me, if you can hear me, just let me know in the chat because there is a lag on my end. Okay, I'm live. I'm live. As per my phone, I'm live. Hi Soham. First time seeing your solo live performance. Were you not there for the last stream? But yeah, like I haven't done that many. I mean, I have done a few solo streams, but quite a few of them would just I would stream and then we would make them private. Ah, shit, I feel like I'm too close to the screen. Let me adjust myself. But hi guys, how is everyone doing? How is everyone's Sunday going? Hey Devrat. Hi Sanat. Sanat, I am seeing you after so long on a stream. Hi Waleed. How is everyone's Sunday going? Is the audio fine? Just quickly let me know. Hi Satyajit. Thank you so much. So potluck Sunday potluck is still just a placeholder name for now. Unless you guys like it, then maybe we can make it permanent. But the thing is that I feel like on CCT and even Kitaabi, we keep starting so many new series, and especially I am very guilty of starting to stream and then just leaving it midway. That's why I was a little conscious about coming up with a name and start claiming it to be a new series and then, the whole thing. So I left it till the last minute. And the only two names that I could come up with, which I liked, were Sunday Potluck and Midday Meanderings. So let me know which one you like. I like the idea of a Sunday potluck because a stream is sort of like that, right? Where in the way that in a potluck everyone brings a dish and comes with an offering, and then we all sit together and eat. Um, this is sort of like a potluck of perspectives. Except there's just like I realize the flaw with it is that for that you need more than two people streaming, and I don't think I will be able to get more than two, like myself and somebody, but I don't think there's going to be anyone besides us. um but yeah, you guys get your perspectives, so in that way it could be a potluck. But I really like the name Sunday Potluck. What do you guys think? Or is midday meanderings sounds a little formal to me. Devrat is saying, been a long time, also got into uni. Congratulations. Uh, oh, that's why you haven't attended any streams as of late. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, Mohammed is reading How to Kill a Mockingbird. That's lovely. Fabfest is asking, is anyone going to join? Yes. I am so excited about this person who's going to join. Uh, I mean, I will introduce her when she joins the stream. I think she'll join around 12:30, 45-ish. Um, but basically, she is that one person. Like when I think of all the important events of my life, starting from the age of 19, not even 19, 18 till now, she is that one person who's been there in all of the most significant and also the most insignificant moments. And if you were to ask me, who do you see with you in all of the coming significant and insignificant moments, I know it's her for a fact. So extremely excited that she's finally joining me on a live stream. I've been asking her to come on a live stream with me for so long. Can you guys hear this noise in the background? I swear to God, it's when I sit down to stream is when everyone decides they want to be the noisiest they can be. Hi, Komal. Samiksha is wishing me happy Durga Puja to all of you guys too. Sanat likes potluck. Yeah, I was looking for a word to put with potluck, like potluck perspectives, but kuch bana nahi. So if you guys can think of anything that would be, because I remember with Dishaheen also, it's we had left it open to the audience. Whoever would come up with a name that sounds appropriate, we would just pick that. And it was somebody from the audience who had suggested Dishaheen. Hi, Charu. Charu, I've been so funnily enough, my best friend who's joining today, it's my best friend. She'll be joining us today on the stream. Her name is Charu as well. But I was wondering if you would like to stream with me the next time because I've been watching the stream you, Pathik, and Aditi have been doing, and they're so lovely. And I think like the both of us, could have an interesting conversation. Oh, Komal likes the name as well. Also, the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's a little different from the usual style of our thumbnails, and that's because I was the one who made this one. I mean I didn't make it. I just doodled Sunday potluck, and that was it. But do you like that? I've been seeing a lot of thumbnails with a similar style on YouTube. I think they're so cute, and I've been wanting that as well. Hey Ayushi, Ayushi, why have you been asking for perfume recommendations in every stream? I remember the last stream we did, even in that you were asking for perfume recommendations. And then I was watching Charu and Pathik and their stream, and usme bhi you were asking for perfume recommendations. But sure, today I can give you one. I will have to go get some of my bottles. So maybe towards the end we can do a section, or maybe on the next stream I can properly pick this up. But yeah, guys, how is your Sunday going? And do you guys I feel like noon on a Sunday is the laziest time possible. You don't feel like doing anything. So is this a good time to stream? I really like it in terms of my convenience. I had no idea that noon is an option as well, because um in terms of how many people would be able to attend the stream, I always thought that it would be best to stream after 8 p.m. But I if you guys are on board with noon Sundays, we could make that a thing. Hi, Kushi. Thanks, Jyoti. I think I'll continue making these thumbnails for a bit. It just makes me feel a little more involved with the whole process. But yeah, guys, today I really have been trying to start out my streams by setting an agenda for what topics are going to be discussed. But I know that वो बहुत ज़्यादा restrictive हो जाता है कभी कभी. So but yeah, so for starters, I was thinking that there was this one article I read yesterday. I was thinking कि किस बारे में we can stream, and there was this article I read yesterday, which was very old. I was reading about something completely different, which redirected me to this article I'd read a while ago. It's a very old article featured in The Atlantic about third spaces, which was very interesting to me. And I thought that maybe we could pick up that as a conversation and then build it into other things. And when my best friend joins in, we have a lot of common shows that we could talk about, and eventually go into discussing some song lyrics and just songs that have made a very big impact on us in terms of their lyrics. Hi, Chintan. Okay, so before we get into all of that, I noticed that there are quite a few people who have asked me what I have been reading, and Pasta Ball had asked me to recommend two books. Two to nahi, but I can show you the book that I'm currently reading, which is Sharu is saying yes, the audio is good. Thanks. Uh, but yeah, so there is this book that has a proper cult following online, and I had been seeing it everywhere. I don't use Instagram anymore. I mean, not actively, at least. I'll just check it once in 2 weeks just to see if there's anything important happening, and to make sure my account hasn't been hacked yet. But other than that, I don't really use Instagram. But before I took a break from Instagram, I had been seeing this book everywhere. And I think it went viral on TikTok, because of which it has amassed such a following. But uska, I don't know what, it's mystery and horror and a psychological thriller all in one, as far as I know. And it's apparently one of the scariest books that has been ever written. So I had decided I wanted to order it. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. A lot of people are talking about my earrings, and I just want to say that somebody very special to me has gifted them. So I'm glad you are liking them. But yeah, so coming back to the book I was talking about, it's The House of Leaves by Mark Daniel Lewicki. I hope that's how you pronounce his name, but it's a really fat book, as you can see. And apparently, it's one of the scariest that has ever been written. And I'm forgetting the word for the literature. What is that word that they use to describe the literature that's unnecessarily complex and that adds to the beauty of it? It's one of those books. And I can, like, anyone who is trying to convince you to read this book will show you the same thing about it, is how like weird the writing is, in terms of just random blank pages. The orientation is really weird. Wait, can you guys see it? But yeah, this is from what I have made out of it so far, it is basically about this guy who moves into the apartment of this older man who's found dead. And the guy who was living there before him, he was working on, he was trying to solve a mystery about a film that doesn't really exist. And this guy who moves in now, he is left with all the notes of the dead guy. And he is now trying to solve the mystery. And in the process of that, he feels like he's going crazy. So you as a reader are supposed to solve the mystery yourself as well. So it's a very complicated read. It's definitely not a leisure read. Like, you have to sit down and make notes for it properly. You have to read the footnotes because there are a lot of clues in that. So मैं start तो कर दी, but I don't know if I can commit to it right now because I don't have the time for it. But whenever I do find the time, I know that this is the first book I'm going to pick up because of how interesting it sounds. I also, there was this one comment I had seen under some video, which was reviewing this book, about how this guy said that when he was in prison, this was the book he had picked up, And it was this book that kept him going through his, like, for the time that he was in prison, because of how much effort it requires on your part. And he said how, like, they get like a specific time to borrow the library book and read, right? So he had taken that, he would take the book, he would read, he would make notes, and there were a lot of other people who saw him doing that, and they were curious. So the book started getting rotated between 3 4 other prisoners, and all of these people would read the book, make notes, and then spend their time discussing amongst each other, trying to solve the mystery. And that is what helped this particular guy get through his time. And that is why he's so thankful to the book, because of how much you need to invest of yourself in it. And yeah, that's the reason why I picked this book up. And Lenas, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, said, "Man, this book is disturbing, very disturbing." Yeah, I every video that I watch online about this book keeps talking about the same thing, that if you are going to read this book, make sure that you're reading in broad daylight and your therapist is on speed dial, because of how disturbing it can be. Satyajit is saying he's reading Open. Nice. And started How to Be Miserable a third time, determined to finish it this time. How to Be Miserable is the same book. I feel like I've read this, but it's a very fleeting memory. It has a bunch of short stories that tell you how to be miserable, right? And then, therefore, pointing out the stupidity of it. Rishabh is saying, actually, you have to put kerosene on the pages to see the letters. Really? I mean, I have heard some really wild theories about how to decode this book, and Reddit is a place that loves things like this, and it has had so much fun with this book. And there are so many theories out there about this. And truly, I'm very excited to pick up this book when I have the time, and I'm also hoping all of us could do it together, because it is the sort of book that requires you to have a group along with you so that you can discuss, and it's a group activity. Okay, I'm so sorry, I don't know how I forgot about it, but yeah, How to Be Miserable, it's the same book that I'm thinking about. It's a bunch of short stories, yeah. So are you reading the one that is just How to Be Miserable, or the one that's aimed at people in their 20s? But How to Be Miserable, I'm surprised that you're struggling to finish it, because it's such a easy read. And the way I read it is, I would, whenever I would get bored and I was in the mood to read something but not completely commit to it, I would pick up a story and I would read it. And I did not stick to the order. I just looked at the index and went with whatever seemed interesting at that point. But yes, uh enough about this. Coming to what I wanted to really discuss. So as I was telling you, now I want to know if I can share my screen on this. Okay, I can't. But I would have loved to show you the article. Anyways, I will post a link to it um in the chat. Okay. Or like towards the end of the video, if any of you are interested in it. But it's basically this article by, hang on, I need to open it up. It's titled Do Yourself a Favor and Go Find a Third Place. And it's basically talking about this concept that a sociologist had put forth. Hold on, let me get his name. Where did his name go? Also, guys, I know I haven't done the any of the streaming etiquette yet. So Please like the stream if you're watching this. Somebody quickly tell me how many likes we have so far so that more people can join in. I can see that there aren't a lot of people watching today. So make sure you like the stream and share this with people that you think might be interested in watching. I'm really optimistic about you guys liking my and Charu's chemistry. Just 17 likes of you guys, you need to like the stream right now. And somebody take the responsibility of commenting that every once in a while in the chat as well. Okay. I can see the likes have increased. That means there were quite a few people who aren't. Satyajit is reading the proper version. Okay. So there's this sociologist called Oldenburg who had come out with this concept of how there is a first place, there's a second place, and then there's a third place. The first place is where you live, the second place is where you work, and the third place happens to be a place where you go just to have conversation. And there are very few barriers to entry, and it's a place outside of obviously your home and your work where you go to relax, and conversation is the like there is a criteria for what can be a third place. One, there need to be little to no barriers for entry, so in terms of finances and stuff, and also it like the main motivation to go there is for conversation with strangers. So there's this article in the Atlantic that I just read out the title for by Ali Conti, which where she talks about how the we used to have a lot of third places earlier on, but now, especially in the cities, they have been dwindling, and this has been an issue that has gotten worse ever since the pandemic, of course. And it's a very, very beautiful article where she talks about how she was once coming back from a meditation class. And while on her way back, she sees this random house. And on the post box outside it, there's a sticker that reads Max Club. And out of curiosity, she enters, and it turns out to be just a normal house that's been converted into a social club where anyone can go to get a drink and catch a conversation with people. And it's usually meant for the neighborhood, but there are a lot of people who found out about it, so people keep going. But she ends up going there by accident, and she realizes how going to a place like this and just having a conversation with strangers was what helped her feel better about her life more than the meditation class that she'd just taken, and how it instilled this sense of calmness in her. And I cannot agree more. Do you guys have any third places? I was just like the reading the article made me think about how I used to have a third place of sorts when I was in college, which happened to be the library, which is weird in terms of not too many people talk in the library, but that is where I would find myself having a lot of conversations with people that I didn't know. Samiksha is asking, do you use any cognition boosting supplements or any other supplement? Not really. I used to take vitamin D, which I should even now, but I don't anymore. But yeah. Kushi is asking, Dishadi, have you read The Coffee Gets Before the Coffee Gets Cold? I'm asking this because I finished reading it this morning and I want to start the second part of the series as I loved the first one too. I have that book lying around somewhere in the house, but I haven't been able to get through it. but you should definitely go for the second part. That book has a huge fan following on Chalchitra itself. It was also of a book a month a while ago. I think last year. I'm not sure, but um, yeah, you should definitely pick up the second part if you're into it, and I should go find the first one and start reading. Lennis is saying parks and library would be my third place. Hmm. But that's the thing, right? Even parks are the primary example that comes up when you think of a third place. But um, lately there aren't too many parks around us, and also, at least in India, the not even in India, I just feel like this is a global thing. Striking a conversation with a stranger in a park can be very awkward, and you are also always worried about not, creeping anyone out. And in many ways, the streaming that we do, I feel like is a third place. Sanskriti is saying, I think social media is the third place for me. Absolutely, yeah. Social media has, in many ways, become that third place for a lot of people. But, anyways, in the article, she makes a very strong point about how, like, third places are not just important for our well being, but also how third places are extremely important for the health of a democracy. And that reminded me of this other article that I had read. So it was very long ago that I was giving some exam that had a section on English proficiency, and उसमें वो जो reading comprehension वाला paragraph आता है, वो in that there was a very very interesting essay that they had given us, which basically spoke about how it is the coffee houses that had fueled some of the greatest revolutions that we have seen. And I just wanted to share, like, I'm not going to discuss it, but it's a very interesting read. And if you guys are interested, I could share the link for that too. And it's basically titled How Coffee Fueled Revolutions and Revolutionary Ideas. And this is on history.com. It's a very popular essay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you must have read it. But it's beautiful to see that, like, I'll read out a line that I like. Um, yeah. Coffee's affordability and egalitarian structure, anyone could come in and order a cup, eroded centuries of social norms, which basically gave people a platform to come and discuss things. And that is how it became the birthplace of so many revolutions. It's a really, really lovely essay that I like. And yeah. Also, in the previous article itself, that talks about the how you need to find a third place for yourself, there was this very interesting line that the author says about adult friendships, that how adult friendships are mostly, instead of them being unstructured quality time, all it has become is a continuous series of catching up, which is so true. I think now for me, I have freshly entered this stage in my life where all of my friends, including myself, we are proper adults and we don't spend as much unstructured quality time with each other as we would like. And it's a very new thing for all of us. And every time we meet, it's just us catching up. And it's been a while since we've met to just spend time together. So I think that is so relevant. Hi, Pokhraj. It's so good to see you after so long. Satyajit is saying, Good Luck Restaurant in Pune, where sharing table is a common thing, was one such place for me. Absolutely. Yeah, another third place that I had during college is right outside college, there was a government canteen, a very small place. I don't know if it was a government canteen or just a canteen for all the government employees in the nearby offices. It was a very, very tiny place. And they used to sell very basic Maharashtrian food, breakfast items mostly, like poha and chai and like other breakfast things. And that was a third place because the place was so small and everyone was mostly either like these employees from the offices or people from our college. The place was so small that we had no option but to share tables and just be up in each other's place, and it would always stimulate conversation. And I had met so many people there as well, and just I miss the comfort of those places. Okay, I just saying I'm living for the Delhi University curd chicken. That is exactly what I was going for. But yeah, guys, this is more or less what I wanted to talk about. And very soon, my best friend will be joining too. I hope you guys enjoy the discussion we'll be having. We'll keep it unstructured. So, there are a few people who had texted me saying that they have been wanting to know what my thoughts about Shameless are, because I think in one of the previous streams I'd spoken about how I've been watching it and I've been really loving it, and then I never gave my conclusive thoughts on it because I hadn't finished it then. So I'm pretty sure Charu and I will pick that up because she's the one who got me into it. Pokraj is saying we had a Milinda canteen on campus. Wow. Yeah, the canteen is always named after the person who runs it, right? Uh-huh. Nabhya Shah is saying, recently discovered your channel and Chalchitra Talks. Any guide to start with? Hmm. I mean, uh, I think like you should just let whatever your primary interest is, whether that be songs or movies or documentaries or books, depending upon that, you can start with content related to that. And or just movies and conversations in general. We have a lot of very lovely interviews that you can start with. Webav has been killing it lately with his interviews. And I'm pretty sure like those are very, very good representations of what we do with the channel, or at least what we attempt to do. And you could start with that. And with regards to Kitaabi cabins, like since it's mostly focused on books, I think you could watch any videos that Vaani had made earlier. I have a very, very personal video on the channel called How I Ended My Reading Hiatus that you could also watch. Ananya is asking, do you feel that receiving validation on looks from social media boost your confidence? Uh, I usually, when I'm reading the chat, I try to avoid questions that aren't in like alignment with what I'm talking about, just to not break the flow. But today, I think I'm just in the mood. But yes, I mean, I hope it's not specifically for me and it's just in general. And I would invite everyone in the chat to answer that. I think that receiving validation on social media can definitely boost your confidence, but that is a very temporary boost, and it's sort of like a never ending thing because no amount of validation becomes enough because it's coming from an external source. The only validation that is permanent and bulletproof is the one that you get internally. So that's how I feel about it. But it helps. I'm not going to lie. Everyone likes receiving validation on social media, but it's not of much use in building your confidence. Hi, Saika. Hi, Suryas. Sorry. But yeah, it's 12:37. I'm gonna check on my friend to see if she's ready and interested in joining. Even she is serving proper Delhi University core chicken curry jumka aesthetic. So really excited. She is actually a Delhi University student. So uh Music for Soul is saying we had monkeys in my university's canteen. They didn't speak much though. Still like counts. Okay. So I'm gonna let my friend in here. But before I do, make sure you've liked the stream and you shared it with whoever might be interested. And yeah. Hi, Charu. Can you hear me? But before I do, make sure you've liked the stream. Your this is on. Your YouTube, the volume is on, so I can hear myself. Can you hear me?
I, I, it'll
Can you?
take me a minute to figure this out.
No
Bec-
worries, no worries.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't tell if
What can you not tell? I'll help you out. Tell me. Wherever your YouTube is on, no, वहां से आवाज आ रही है तो वो
yeah,
बंद कर दे.
is it okay now? I can't tell. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't hear myself. Can you hear me properly?
yeah, I can hear you well.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah,
Everything's. You have your comments set up, or you? Oh shit! I moved my. Oh, एक minute. यार, I try to grab. You can hear me, right? This will take a minute to.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah. Just a second. This will take a. Ah, shit. Can you still hear me, Charles?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What? Okay, till then, so that we don't lose the interest of everyone, can you introduce yourself? I know it's a very weird this, but you can tell them how you know me. You can
Yeah.
give them a recommendation of anything that you've been enjoying lately.
Yeah. So, my name is Charu, and how I know Disha is we went to college together. We met, I think, when we were 15, 16 years old, and we have been friends ever since. That's how we know each other. And well, for recommendation, I would say I have really, so I'm sure a lot of people have heard this song went very popular on Instagram, the song called Until I Found You. So the guy who made that song released an entire album, I think a few weeks or like a month or so back. And I'm really enjoying that because it has a very like, it makes me feel reminiscent of something, but I don't know what it is. I just think like it just makes me feel really good, the music in that album.
Hmm, that's lovely. What is his name? Sanchez something.
Yeah, Stephen Sanchez. So he released an album. It's called Angel Face. And the entire album is basically about like loving someone very devotedly and like going through heartbreak and just that entire thing.
Ah, lovely. I do you think that there are a lot of songs that go viral on Instagram that are actually good, but then you
Yeah.
tend to overlook them because oh ये तो viral चला गया है तो अब इसका point नहीं है. Because even
Yeah.
his first song, oh, what was
It,
that song?
Until I Found You. It's a really
Until
nice song. Like till this date, I really enjoy listening to that song. I love like I really like, I feel like his new album also has that song. And
Hmm,
the lyrics of that song is the one that I like the most because the new album, I like the tune of the songs. I like the way he's singing and everything. I'm not a big fan of the lyrics, but just the way he sings those songs, it has like a very like old feel. Like it doesn't feel
hmm.
like new music. It just
Yeah,
feels like
I know
something that
what
was
you
released
mean.
like
Yeah.
long back. Yeah.
True. Also, he's very young. I had seen a live
Yeah.
performance of his, which is he's so good even live.
Yeah. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can now. Like I lost it for a second.
It's okay. You know, guys, before we started the stream, I kept warning Charu that I don't want you to at all forget, even for a minute, that we are not like on a regular Zoom call where we are just catching up, because we have a lot of those, and just start saying whatever. So you have to be
I
mindful of the
know.
fact that
I would come out
it
here
is
and
getting
like
streamed.
spill secrets like crazy. I was like, I gotta get it in control. Because if I forget for a second that this is live stream, I'm so glad like they like sent me like a little like notice saying this is being live streamed. Otherwise, I would have just started saying whatever I want.
Yeah, thankfully they give that
Yeah.
notification in the start. But we will address some comments in the
Yeah.
game. So Shivani told me that, hi Disha, there was one video where you were painting and recommending your favorite shows of the year. That's how I found out about Derry Girls. Can you do a
Hmm.
similar video again? So thank you, Shivani. You remember that video of mine?
I think
No.
I do. I've seen. No, I probably don't. That is the sign of a true bestie. You don't remember anything. The friendship
No,
just keeps going. You don't remember anything.
absolutely. I feel like the people closest to me are the ones who consume my content the least, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Yeah, what
it's
I
okay.
you have done a lot is I'll just put my sister to it. I'll be like, you better watch the video while I'm out there doing God knows what. I'll tell my sister, ki, get on it.
Yeah, but you know what the best part is, that Derry Girls was something that you had recommended to
I
me.
know, I really like that
So
show.
I absolutely love it. When was the last, it wasn't last year that the last season came out?
Yeah, I think it was very recently. They
Very
released it
recently, right?
recent, yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about the ending of that show? It was
Honestly, I
kind
watched
of
so
emotional.
many shows, I don't remember the
You don't
ending.
remember,
Yeah,
but
I don't
like
remember.
one of the main characters, she suffers a very big personal tragedy. Like, I'm trying to make this spoiler free, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I probably won't remember, but I remember liking it. I remember like I felt like I think it was the third or the second season. I felt like it was like in line with what they were trying to do before. So it didn't feel like, very like out of the blue. So I remember like thinking that like it is made well, and just the storyline also I felt like they kept it interesting. It didn't get boring because that happens to me a lot. That I'll watch like a show which has like one season and they come up with like the next season like a year later, and by the time they release the next season, the storyline just like it's so diverted from the original one that I just lose interest. So that happens, but
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
Because so many times they change this also, no, writers also.
Hmm.
But I liked the ending of of Derry Girls, but I feel like the personal tragedy, it was kind of unexpected, because I thought they would keep the show lighthearted only throughout.
Hmm.
So in that sense, I was a little like, oh, thoda
Yeah.
inconsistent ho gaya. But yeah, Derry Girls is a great show. Have you watched what is the male version of that? Everyone keeps saying, I can't remember its name.
Which one? I don't remember.
Do you guys
Like, give
know
me a
what I'm talking about? There's a very popular show which is also very well loved, which is called as the male version of Derry Girls.
hmm.
Awkward
I haven't
something.
seen that.
Should I can't remember. Anyways, if somebody is able to tell me in a live chat, we can pick that up.
Yeah.
But do you have any recommendations similar to Derry Girls?
Similar to Daiga. Oh, I wanted to tell you this. I forgot to tell you this a few weeks ago. I was trying to look for like a show to watch on Amazon Prime, and I came across Skins, and I wanted to watch it so bad. And then I literally had to hold myself hostage that you cannot watch this show again. But yeah, I really like.
Like,
I feel
Skins
like
is the opposite of Derry Girls.
I
Like,
know.
Skins.
There's this show. I don't know if you were talking about that same show. It has like a bunch of British guys and their like high school story. Like it's a little vulgar, but it's extremely funny. I can't remember the name of that show, but I really
It's
like
In Between Us. Yeah,
In
Pokraj is
Between. I really
In
liked In
Between Us.
Between
Yeah,
Us.
that is you watched In Between Us.
Yeah, I watched it like very like a long time back.
Acha, yeah, I haven't watched that yet, but I feel like In Between Us and also Silicon Valley to some extent are very good recommendations for people who have really enjoyed Derry Girls.
Yeah.
But on the topic of final seasons, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on writers to give a good final season. And giving that is a lot of pressure, like to deliver to that expectation of viewers. How do
Yeah.
you feel about the last season of Shameless? I recently finished Shameless. I don't know which
Yeah.
season. You finished it, right?
I finished it and I rewatched it as well. Like, I am a shameless fan through and through.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
for a little bit of context for people who don't know, because oddly, do you think Shameless is a popular show? Because every time I've mentioned
Yeah.
Shameless on the streams, there are very few people who have actually recognized the show. मुझे काफी messages आए थे बाद में Insta पे कि oh you never told us what you feel about Shameless, but other than that on the streams वगैरह I don't see a lot of people recognizing it.
No, I feel like Shameless is not like very, very popular, but I feel like it has a dedicated like watchers group because like any show with like 11 seasons, there are only very few people who can like make it through, especially like the chaos, the drama, and like the heartbreak and everything of Shameless. So I feel like it's not extremely popular, but at the same time, like
It
I
has a
just feel
cult following.
yeah, it has a
Yeah,
cult, definitely, 100%. Yeah,
are we part of the cult?
definitely. I've been there since day one. I just, I literally, I remember watching like the 11th season, like as it came out, like every episode, I would be waiting. I'd be like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Yeah,
No, but abhi only, I think this month itself, I finished Shameless, and I really, I don't know, I'm confused about the last season ki mujhe kaise laga, because this is going to be a spoiler wala discussion just in case anyone wants a warning, because that show has ended 2 years back or something, no?
yeah, I think it's been a while. Yeah,
It's
around
been a
2 years,
while,
must
yeah.
be. Yeah,
Yeah. So, the in the last season, they have this whole gentrification ka theme where they're talking about the issues with
yeah,
gentrification, and a lot of poor people are being pushed out of their conventional areas of residence because
yeah.
housing is becoming affordable housing is becoming an issue. I really like that, but I thought it was very focused on that.
It really was,
So,
and like I feel like they I mean, I guess it's like including the nature of like the situation into this, but they also like it, a lot of the episodes were about COVID. And like when I was watching it, COVID had freshly ended. And I just felt like I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to watch this again, like everyone with their masks and struggling everywhere. So I feel like they included, like they focus so much on that part that like the essence of Shameless is chaos. The essence of it is that something is always going wrong with someone at some point in time. And I feel
mm,
like it got diverted from that a bit, definitely.
it got real. I feel like it was
Yeah,
the chaos was very real in terms of हाँ ये हो सकता है. पहले के
yeah,
seasons में all the chaos was so like you could tell कि ये सिर्फ टीवी में होगा. But
exactly. I
yeah.
feel like that is well, like what I liked about it. Like when I had first started watching Shameless, like the part of the show that I liked was that the chaos was unrealistic. Like I couldn't relate to that chaos, and like
Mm,
seeing something so new and like there's. I feel like Shameless is one of those shows it never lets up. Like there will never be one drama-free episode. There will not be one episode in which someone is not like getting beaten up, or someone isn't in jail, or someone isn't getting in trouble. And I feel like they never let it up until like I feel like the last season got a bit like as you said real, and then they let up a bit.
mm,
But like I really liked the entire show, but the last season to me was a little disappointing because I was expecting like something really insane is gonna happen, but I still enjoyed it
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Even I thought they wouldn't drop the ball. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm yet to find out a show जिसका finale मुझे पसंद आया. I think it just, as I said, there's a lot of pressure on the writers to deliver because you
yeah, yeah.
tend to develop such an attachment to the show that just it ending itself is a very difficult thing for you. So no matter how good of a finale they give, I think it would be a little difficult for people to acknowledge it anyways.
Yeah,
So,
but, like I feel like I haven't seen any show with like a good finale. Like I don't,
mm,
yeah, I don't
no,
remember
maybe
any
someone
show
in the
like with a good
people in the live chat can tell us which show they watched that they really enjoyed the finale of. But
Pokra
yeah,
just said in the chats that Skins was Euphoria before Euphoria. I agree, but
that
at the
is so
same
true.
time, Euphoria could never did what Skins. The
I
impact
know.
skins had on the lives of like teenagers is unmatched. Like Euphoria also did that, but Skins was a bit, it was insane. Like I remember like there was this one episode in which Effie was like having some kind of like a depressive episode. And that I will always remember that episode. I remember watching it when I must have been like 15, 16 or something. And that
Hmm.
episode like really like shocked me to my core. I don't know why, but I will never forget that episode. It was very impactful, the show in general. Not in a
Mm-hmm.
good way, just impactful in general.
Yeah, I feel like with Skins first of all was very, there was no a common criticism that Euphoria gets is that it is addressing a lot of issues that teenagers face, but in a very romanticized manner. So it's not responsible the way they are portraying it. But with Skins, things that were like things like substance abuse, वगैरह, they have shown that in the realistic light, in the sense that you look at it and you feel scared for your life, you feel
Yeah,
disgusted, right? Like even with
yeah.
the eating disorder that you were referencing, I feel like they showed it in a very like correct way, in a very responsible way. So there
Hmm.
wasn't any romanticized, I mean, I at least didn't feel that way. I don't know how people must
Yeah.
have felt back then.
Because in Euphoria, like everything, like you very correctly said, everything is so like hyped up. Like everything, they show everything in a way that people think, oh, like this is so interesting. But
Hmm.
it shouldn't be like that. Like I feel like no one watches Euphoria to, get like a sort of like an understanding of the issues that people or like youngsters today are dealing with. People watch it because it's so like shocking at all the points. That's why I think there's
Uh-huh.
this show that came out on Netflix called The Class. It's a Hindi show. And I feel like a lot of people also watch that show for the shock value, like the pure shock value of like, oh, kids nowadays are doing this. But kids are not.
Mhm.
Like the reality is kids are really not. Like we were
I mean,
discussing this a
we
few
don't
days
know,
ago.
but like definitely the average
No, we weren't.
average kid is not doing. We weren't doing that. I watched Shock, and I agree. I watched it for the shock value.
Yeah.
It was a very the kind of show I just was watching at the moment क्योंकि मुझे कुछ वो वैसे टाइप का मसालेदार देखना था.
Yeah.
But other than that, it didn't stay with me at all.
Yeah. Same. I mean, it was, yeah, average, I would say. But
Mm-hmm.
oh, I finished the second season of The Bear. And you were right. It's amazing, especially
Okay,
that
we are
episode
jumping
Folks.
between too many shows right now.
I know.
Let's finish Shameless, and then I want you to connect how you felt about Jeremy Allen White in terms of Shameless and The Bear.
Yeah.
But I was talking to somebody. I was telling them that I finished Shameless, and they were asking, they haven't seen the show, and they were asking me why is it called Shameless, and the
They gotta
best way I
watch
could
it to know.
explain. I know, but you remember the in first year we had one class with Aggie where it was a class about poverty. I have spoken about this a lot because I really enjoyed those classes. But
Yeah.
basically, for everyone else to explain, we had until that point in first year there was this class that was conducted by one of our professors that was very impactful for all of us because until that point we had studied economics in a very quantitative way, and in we had studied poverty in a very quantitative way,
Yeah.
and in that class we were supposed to look at poverty from a sociological lens as well. And there was this point, there was a lot that was spoken about, but there was this one point that was driven and was highlighted a lot, that was that poverty is basically the lack of capabilities to have means to live a dignified life. And that's how I thought about like the title of Shameless, is that
Mm.
when you're poor and you want to get by, you don't really have access to like a dignified existence, so to get by you have to be shameless, and that's how I saw the show.
Yeah, because I feel like Shameless, the entire show is just about survival. It's about how
Mhm.
this family survives, how they make it, and like it doesn't really focus on like the actual personal lives of characters, like apart from the way in which it relates to how they are surviving and how they're messing up their lives. So
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
talk about, oh, this person is going through this. The reason why they're showing what the person is going through is to show, oh, they're gonna mess up.
You feel that?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are connected to that because there's so, and I feel like Shameless did not do Liv's character justice because I feel like
Hmm.
I would have liked to see like he made it, like he was brilliant, he was smart, and I feel like it would have been such a nice thing to see.
Justice in the sense though, but like I actually liked the ending of as much as it would have been really satisfying if Lip's character, who by the way is
Yeah,
Jeremy Allen White, for the ones who haven't watched the show, had he gotten a happy ending and he had lived up to his potential, then like that wouldn't have been a very realistic ending. It would have been a very satisfying one.
yeah. And it also wouldn't be in line with what the show is. So I feel like
Yeah.
the writers did like they did do well, but I would have liked to see where he could have gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when he
Because
like
like
started
the
going to
one thing about
college,
Lip. Hmm?
when he started going to college and everything, I thought, oh, like he's on the right track. Like he's gonna, he's gonna get his family out of poverty. He's gonna bring everyone up. And then I realized, like, it's I feel like it's actually, now that I think about it, it's good because it shows that the impact of his entire childhood and adolescence. It shows that he doesn't think twice before, like, taking a decision that could harm him, because that is just like he was constantly in like the fight or flight mode. He never had the
Hmm.
chance to sit down and think, oh, this is good for me, this is not good for me. I feel like in
Hmm.
that way, I feel like it's very, very realistic.
Right. And that's I think one of the most common descriptions of Lip's character was that he's too smart for his own good.
Yeah.
So he was very self-destructive in that way. So I feel like that was nice. I think we should like end the Shameless discussion here and you can talk about the pair, because there is nobody in the chat who's talking about about Shameless. That's what I was telling you. There are very few people who have watched the show, and I very rarely hear about it when I'm streaming. But yeah,
Yeah.
how did you find the last season of The Bear?
Yeah, so I watched the first season right when it came out, and I absolutely loved it because I really liked Jeremy Allen White as Lip. But I mean, the character, like Carmi and Lip are very, very different characters, and I like that. I really like the way he has like depicted, like in the Bear, like when, like in the context of like romantic relationships, he's softer. He's still self-destructive, but he's also at the same time a little caring and a little more loving than he was in Shameless. But so the second season came out, I started watching it because I loved the first season, and I could not watch it. Like the first two episodes, I don't know why I couldn't get into it, and I kept thinking, oh, they messed this up. Like I really like this show, but I don't like this. And then one day, like I think this was just like a few days ago, I was just free. And in the nighttime, I just picked it up. I was like, no, I gotta get through this. And it was amazing. Like the episode about Marcus and the episode about Richie and the chaos of that Thanksgiving dinner episode. I just loved it. It was so, so well made.
I
Yeah.
agree. I absolutely agree. That's what I have told you, that I have felt like Lip is definitely more interesting. Actually, I made a comment on one of the other streams that we did on the main channel where we were discussing the bear, saying that it almost feels like Carmi is a spin-off of Lip, because both
It's
the shows, something very interesting I noticed in the last season of Shameless, they make a reference to the bear, and both of them are set in Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't know this.
yeah, like there's some like random. I'll send you a link to that episode, but in some
Yeah.
episodes they make a mention to the bear, and both of them are set like in Chicago itself. So I personally thought that it seemed like it was just Lip, but it was like it was a spin-off almost.
Um,
Um, But I can imagine that if Lip grew up in a slightly richer household, which was just as messed up, he would have ended up like Army.
yeah, oh, definitely. 100%. Because the only difference between the family in The Bear and the family in Shameless is that the family in Bear had money. That's literally
Yeah.
like they had a
They
good
were
house,
above
like,
the poverty line for sure.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they still had their own issues with like alcoholism and like mental disorders and everything. But then, end of the day, like their lifestyle was different in terms of like in monetary terms. Like they just had more money, they had a better house and everything. But the
Absolutely.
episode about the Thanksgiving dinner, if you remember which one I'm talking about, in The Bear, second season, I loved that episode because just watching that episode gave me like so much, like it made me so nervous because it was so chaotic. It was just someone's always yelling, there's something's always like something's always breaking. Like it was so like nerve-wracking to watch that episode.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone has spoken about how much that they love that episode, but my favorite episode was the Richie one.
I
And
mean,
I
I
loved how
definitely.
they used Taylor Swift I never imagined love story being used in an episode
No,
like that and loving it so much.
I
I
know. I
love what they've
really
done
do.
with it.
Yeah, and I mean, it was such a good like character, like a good character moment for Richie. I feel like the way they've shown him like the first season and like the first half of the second season, like oh, this is a guy who's gonna just not do things for you. He's just going to disappoint you. He's going to let you down. He's going to mess everything up. But like that episode was so beautiful. Like it, I feel like it showed that he just needed to feel understood and appreciated. Like the moment someone gave him the opportunity to learn and the opportunity to do something well, he did it.
Mm.
And I feel like that was like the way Kani like focused on his ability and utilized that for the restaurant. I really liked it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So let's pick up some comments and then we will start discussing our song lyrics, which is what I had promised everyone in the start.
Yeah.
Were you watching the stream before you joined?
I was. That's why you could hear it in the background.
Okay, good. Satyajit is saying, are the writers always at fault or do viewers have high hopes and anything that doesn't? Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? I feel like even if it's a good finale, we wouldn't be able to tell because if it's a show that we have a lot of attachment to, nothing is going to live up to our expectations. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
can
And I feel
you
like
think?
some shows are best left with just one season. Like there's this show I really liked, which was uh, Kevin Can Go F Himself. I really like that show.
Oh,
I
I love
still,
that. Yeah.
till this date, I don't know if they have like a new season or if the storyline progressed. Because even if they come out with a new season, I'm gonna keep it to that one, like the one that I watched. Because I loved that show because it was just such a new concept and
I feel like
beautiful.
they will have to come out, no, because it wasn't an ending. I also absolutely love. You were the one who suggested that show to me. I
Yeah.
really, really liked it.
Yeah, and there's this one show I think I told you about. I can't remember. Like this is a recommendation from my side to everyone. On Amazon Prime, there's this show. I will find out the name and I'll let you guys know. But the show basically is about how this one girl is obsessed. She's just obsessed with this particular artist and just she just gets so obsessed that she starts killing and she starts following and she starts attacking people. It just like it's not realistic, I would say, but the psychological aspect of it is just amazing. I'll
Is
find
it
out the name. It's a
new?
very dark show.
I can't remember. Like, I can't. Have you spoken to me about this?
Yeah, yeah, I remember like when I watched it, like the day after that I had
Who
told
is
you about this.
starring in it? You are not telling us the name.
I will find out. Like let me Google it real
Okay,
quick and I will
okay.
give the
Because if
name.
anyone else can tell us in the chat, then you if you can tell us whatever you remember, someone I'm pretty sure will guess it in the chat.
All
But
I remember is that aspect that I said. So the girl, like she's living with her sister, and like it's about how like her personal life deteriorates because of like a personal tragedy, and she just something in her mind snaps, and then she starts getting obsessed with this artist because she just like had a tragedy, and all of the negative emotions from that side shift to this particular artist and all of
Hmm.
the things that she does in order to cope with everything. It was just, it's very well made. I really like that show. I think
Okay.
it's called
No,
Swarm.
we'll put
Like someone
put the
should
name
check
in
it.
the comments. Yeah,
Yeah, I
later
think
on.
it's called Swarm. I can like check it once, but I am pretty sure it's called Swarm.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
SWAR.
Okay. So Nabisha's this I am not going to pick up right now. Sanskriti is saying, I think the importance of the third place is because of the breaking of family structures and friendships in big cities and throughout the world. Yeah. So, were you listening to the part where I was talking about the third place and the importance of finding one?
Yeah.
So, do you have a third place?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, I
I
really
mean,
don't.
you heard, no, in college, like whatever was my third place was your third place. So you
Huh.
know what we had back then. But now I don't have one anymore. And I think her point is so valid because so in that article, I'll send it to you because I know you will really like reading it. One of the things that they also speak about is how after pehle when in general the per capita income was lower, um people had no option but to live in the sort of community where everyone was with everyone all the time. So there
Yeah.
was no need for a third place. People used to use public transport more, या फिर ये वो. And one of the examples that they gave to put across the point was how पहले किसी एक के घर पे ही टीवी होता था, तो सब जो भी उस नेबरहुड में रहते थे वो सब आके
Yeah.
टीवी साथ में देखते थे. एंड दैट यूज्ड टू हैपन इन माय ग्रैंडफादर्स हाउस एज वेल. Our house was the first ones to get a TV, and I remember around 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. जब वो मराठी सीरियल सब शुरू हो जाती थी, everyone from the neighborhood
Yeah.
would come and we would all sit together and watch the shows. And as like people started earning more, and in general even technology became a little cheaper and people could afford to buy their own television sets, then this stopped completely. Now you can't go to anyone's house and just watch TV, you know.
Yeah, and we like TV on kar do. आज TV देखते हैं. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it, uh, like especially in college, I remember always having a third place. Like I remember
Third
like
place,
there
yeah.
was, we were always up to something. We were always up to something. But I feel like as I've gotten older and like after my next degree and like now with like a job and everything, I feel like I sometimes feel like we don't have enough like time and just there's
For
just
that.
yeah, I feel like
Hmm.
what you barely get like 2 days a week off. In that time, I just end up like watching something or sleeping. So there's no time to engage with people because I live in like a apartment building which only has like people like working people like people my age and my age group, and no one ever talks to each other because everyone is always working. People are coming home late. They're always just so
Hmm.
busy and working and like managing their life that there is no sense of community. There's no like there's not even a possibility of a third place because everyone is
Yeah.
so occupied होता है.
Also, like when you do, I read the article, but in that article she spoke about how now there is a imitation third place that has come up in cities, which is basically a third place, but it is centered around work. So how in like co-working spaces and all, you'll find coffee shops जहाँ पे
Yeah.
मतलब वहाँ पे option है casual conversation का, but you're mostly hanging out with other employees that like or your co-workers and stuff. So the
Yeah.
conversation will by default be about work only. So it has the aesthetics of a third place, but it's actually centered around work. So it's not free
Yeah.
flowing conversation. So I'm sure even where you live, I know the setup that where you work, that is a thing, right?
Yeah, so
You have
like
a third
I
place.
really like that part of like my office building. I really love that there's like huge like wooden dining tables on the ground floor,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
everyone comes, they heat up their lunch, and everyone sits together. So like people
Hmm.
from like my office and like other offices, everyone sits together, and sometimes there'll be just a random person and a conversation starts, and like you end up having like a really long conversation about like. I remember there was this one time like there were these two people. They started talking to one of the partners at my firm, and we all started talking about like sociology and about it was just such a good conversation, went on for like an hour. We just kept on discussing like a lot of like things, and that is the part that I appreciate about such working spaces, that you just always like if you get bored like doing something, you can just sit where there are people there. Like there's always something going on, there'll be events, and it just like in the terms of third place, I feel like these kind of working offices are a third place,
Hmm.
definitely.
Hmm. Hmm. Got it. But yeah, and Vedant, one of my friends from school, is in the
Well,
chat and he's saying,
someone has
hello,
said
it's nice
no.
to see you.
Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, just hi Vedant. He's saying that he's not going to stay for long, but he's sending love and luck from the other side of the world.
Oh.
Thank you, Vedant. Which comment were you reading?
Someone
I'm
has said no work related talks on weekend.
confused.
I
Yes,
agree. I
yes,
agree.
yeah. Let's
I
not.
apologize publicly. It will never happen again.
Also, Vinayak is in the chat and he has said lovely thumbnail. That is such a huge compliment coming from you. He is the one who usually makes the thumbnail.
Oh,
And this one, I sent the thumbnail to you, right? I made it myself. So I'm
it's that
glad.
picture from when I came back last time, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. So Samiksha is saying only murders in the building season 3 is so bad. Have you
It's
watched it?
so
Because I know
bad.
you.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like I remember I was at a party like a few weeks ago and someone was saying, "Oh, I really love that show." Really had to hold my tongue back to say it's just a horrible show. I really don't like that show. I mean, the
Isn't
first,
it like progressive? Because I have watched the first season and half of the second season, I think.
yeah, so the
Huh.
first one was good. I wouldn't say it was just incredible, beautiful, etc., etc. It was average. But after that, I don't know what happened. It just, I think I watched like probably like one episode of the third season. I just couldn't watch it because I just feel like it was a waste of time. I just couldn't get into it. So I
Hmm.
think yeah, even the second one I didn't like that much. Only the first one was okay.
Right, right. I feel like, yeah, I have heard a lot of people talk about how beautiful the show is and how great of a show it is. But मुझे अच्छा लगा. It's not a bad show, but like I don't see the wow factor.
Yeah,
I feel like one of the most enjoyable parts about the show is just the aesthetics of it because it's set in New York and in
yeah.
such a fancy apartment, and the actors are lovely. But yeah, I will. So you don't recommend me checking out the third season?
Yeah, no. I mean, you can watch it if you have like time and you don't have anything else to do, absolutely, then sure. But I can give you much better recommendations, like other than this. So probably
Okay.
not.
Okay, perfect. So now we will start what we had actually decided. So for all of the people in the chat, what Charu and I are going to do is discuss some songs that have made a profound impact on us in terms of the lyrics. And I would want you guys to tell me what are your songs that have made a similar impact. And Charu, do you want to start,
Okay.
or do you want to do like a common one?
A common song. It would be I'll Try Anything
The
Once.
Strokes.
Like that
I'll
is,
try
yeah.
anything one.
I
Okay.
I love that. I remember like all the major points in my life, like all the ups and lows. I have
Hmm.
always listened to that song. Every time there's like some really like huge event in my life, I'm always listening to that song.
Right. You are the one who had made me listen to it. So I think part of the reason why I am so fond of that song is because it makes me think of you. But
Hmm.
it's do you listen to the acoustic version or whatever that the other version or the main like the album wala
Not
song?
the
Because
main one. The main one is very like rock, and I mean, I think rock is a great genre, but like it's just not for me. So I listen to the one that is like it doesn't have a lot of instruments in the background. It's just like one person singing with like a very hoarse voice, and I really love that one.
yeah, but even I like the other version only. And I remember on YouTube there is a very beautiful video of that song
I know
based on
which
the
one.
film.
Yeah.
It's a Sofia Coppola film. What is it called? Some Place Somewhere or something.
I don't, but there's a scene in which like he's swimming. I remember the video that you're talking about. Yeah. I've seen that video. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. I can't remember the name, but it's such a beautiful video, and I think it's not up anymore, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they've deleted that video or something. But
Oh.
yeah, basically the lines of that, I'll read out like the first two, three lines of the song so people know what we're talking about. The song is called I'll Try Anything Once, and it's by The Strokes. It goes 10 decisions shape your life. You'll be aware of 5 about. 7 ways to go through school. Either you're noticed or left out. 7 ways to get ahead. 7 reasons to drop out. When I said, okay, till here we'll discuss
Yeah.
because the other part. So I love this start.
Me too. I especially the first two lines. Like that is the case for me with a lot of songs. I love the first two lines and then I just like fixate on those lines. And this is like one of those.
Yeah. So how do you interpret them? Because the way I have always, instead of going for the meaning just in terms of the tone and everything, it has always seemed like the way he's singing also in the version that we are talking about, he sounds so done. There are these certain number of rules that you have to follow. And even if you follow them, there is no like, there is a chance that you'll either be noticed or left out. And then there are certain sets of rules in life and you have to follow them, and
Yeah.
even then there is a chance it might not happen, and he just sounds so done, and I love
Yeah.
the
Especially like
frustration towards that.
I love the like the first two lines in which like they say that there are 10 decisions shaping your life. and you will only know about five of them. Five of them will just happen to you randomly. You will wake up someday, one decision is made for you, and your life has changed. I love that part because it's so realistic. Because I have found myself in such situations a lot, in which just these are decisions that just have been made and have changed my life, but I feel like I have no control over it. And in that sense, I really like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're so right because like assuming the other five decisions are things that you are deciding, but you aren't even aware of how big they are. These are the kind of things that just make sense in retrospect, right?
Yeah.
I also really like the part where so he's talking about all those things, and to me, it seems like he's really frustrated from all the rules and things that you have to just follow. And even then, there is like a certain set of there's a life that is basically laid out for you, and with these rules and stuff, it might give you an illusion of control. But even then, there are a lot of things that are happening that are out of your control. So even then, there is no like guarantee ki you're going to get the life that you want to
You
live.
want, yeah.
Like there's this the main part that comes where he says, "Shut me down." No, what is it?
Ah, shut me
Let
up.
me check.
I don't.
Sit me down,
And
shut me
sit
up,
me
I'll
down.
calm down, and I'll get along with you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wonder, like, who is this in reference to? Is it like a person that I'll get along with you? Is this like God saying that I'll get along with the plan that you make for me? Or like, who is this in reference to? I've always wondered that. Like, who are you getting along with you?
So the way I had tried to actually search about the song to see if there is any like thing out there that because usually काफी songs का एक back story होता है, right? तो मुझे लगा इसका तो पक्का होगा, but I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So do you know anything about it? No.
Nothing. I know, like, I think of this like as a very innocent song because I feel like that is because I used to listen to it when I was a child. So maybe like it's connected to the fact that I was so
These
young, I
are
think.
totally, yeah, just fair warning. All of the lyrics that we are discussing, जो meanings हम बता रहे हैं, वो हमारा interpretation है and
हाँ,
what it means to us in no ways the actual meaning of the song.
yeah.
But the way I have always seen that part is कि he's frustrated about all these other things, but even then, when it comes to the actual people that you're living your life with and the people that you care about, you will sit as long as they are like with you. I'll shut up and I'll sit down with you and I'll go along because like when it comes to doing life with you, even if I hate all these other things, when it comes to you, I'm
Hmm.
okay with it. I'll ignore that.
Yeah,
That
makes
Do you get it?
yeah.
How do you
I
see it?
I don't know. I used to think that maybe like this is like a conversation with God. He's like, I'll get along with your plan. I really like to think that he may be saying that whatever plan that I cannot control that you have made for me, I will do my best to get along with it. And I feel like that
Mhm.
for me, that was like a positive outlook of that, which is very odd. Like
Mhm.
I'm not one for positive outlooks, but I really like that thinking of it like that, that this person is just accepting whatever is thrown in his way.
Right, right, right. Yeah. But yeah, I love that song. I have listened to that song in so many, uh, like one of my favorite trips ever is the one I had taken to Greece. And वहां
Hmm.
पे मैं रोज सुनती थी. So
Yeah.
it makes me think, and I remember तभी we were so young. Not,
We
it wasn't that
were.
long ago, but
This was in
we were
first
in
year.
first
That is
year,
very long ago. Like if you think of it, like first year was, I don't even,
2018.
yeah, 2017, 2018. So that was so long
Yeah,
ago. My God.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but like it was such a great time, so it also reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So one song that I absolutely love, I'm trying to keep it a mix. We can discuss English and Hindi and like just in general, but
Yeah.
one song I really like is मैं शायर तो नहीं. It's from
Ah,
the movie Bobby.
yeah.
And मतलब मैं पूरी लिरिक्स नहीं पढ़ूंगी, बट जो वो मेन पार्ट है, मैं शायर तो नहीं मगर ये हंसी जब से देखा है तुमको शायरी आ गई. It's
शर्मा गई
it's
मैं
so,
तो
huh?
मैं बोली मैं शर्मा गई
You don't do that here, Char. Yeah, but basically, I love the a sense of that love can make an artist out of you.
Yeah.
That is how I see. Yeah. So even somebody who's not traditionally somebody who writes, a love can bring out things in you that you also weren't aware of.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, definitely, yeah.
mm, you share a Hindi song that.
Okay, so I'll start with like an English recommendation. So I'm sure everyone has probably heard of this. Sufjan Stevens has this album called Carrie and Lowell. And I love that album. Like every single song on that album, I absolutely love. So I love the backstory. So the backstory is that so this it's called Carrie and Lowell because Carrie was his mother's name and Lowell was his stepfather's name. So the album is basically dedicated to them. And his mother, like after struggling with like a bunch of personal issues and problems, she eventually I think got cancer and she passed away. So this entire like I the reason why I love this album is because it feels like I'm listening in on a conversation between a son like who's deeply hurt by the passing of his mother and the mother. So a lot of songs feel like he's trying to say something to them. So like there's some songs, the lyrics of which are just like it makes me want to cry because it feels so personal and it has so many like vague references. So like when you listen to the songs on this album, they have like such specific reference. For example, there's this song called Eugene, and it has this. So in the song, he's saying that there was this person who used to teach me how to swim, and he didn't know my name, so he used to call me Subaru. And I love like such extremely personal references in songs that we wouldn't ever know the backstory of, but it makes us feel so connected to the artist to know that,
Mm,
oh, this personal detail of this person's life I know now. And I feel
mm,
like that is the reason why like I absolutely love this. And I feel like I had probably written it down somewhere, but there's this one line in that same song, Eugene itself. And I think he's saying, what's left is only bittersweet for the rest of my life, admitting that the best is behind me. And yeah, the entire song is basically he's trying to say that what is the point of me doing this? What is the point of me being an artist creating songs if you are not here to listen to it? And that I
mm.
felt like was very beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. So like one of the other songs that I really really like is मैंने देखो ये काफी बार बताया है. I love One Republic का I Lived. एक मिनट
Mhm.
I have closed. Are you still on call? Okay, good.
Yeah.
मेरे लैपटॉप पे इतने सारे टैब्स खुले हैं ना कि picking, is that noise from your background?
Oh yeah, and someone's I think selling like vegetables or something like that. I'll just
Okay. So
yeah, I
Ayushi has
can't
in the chats has said somebody else by the
yeah.
1975.
Give me a second, let me
That is
close
a
the door.
very good song.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I was just shutting the balcony door because that's where the noise is coming
Cool,
from.
cool, 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 cool.
Yeah.
But yes, somebody else by the 1975 is a very heartbreaking song. In fact, I really like the lyrics of Be My Mistake.
Ah, I also like that song.
It's
Yeah, I
very,
like that.
very brutal.
Yeah.
Like it's a very sad song if you think about it. And it's the same idea as Joji's
I know the one with the reptile eye. I can't remember the name of the song, but you know which one I'm talking about.
what's the name
I don't remember. What is I was
called?
listening to it a few days ago actually. I
Just
still
no, but
remember.
this is a very real thing, you know. You come on Glimpse of Us.
Glimpse of us. I could hear the tune in my head, but I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Be My Mistake and Glimpse of Us, I feel like are telling the same story. It's both are very beautiful and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I was talking about One Direction, बोल रही हूँ, One Republic's I Lived. So
Yeah.
basically, the lyrics go, hope when you take that jump, you don't fear the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, it's screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to say. Hope
Oh,
that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. The only way you can know, you give it all you have. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. But yeah, it's just I'm sorry, I'm going to complete this. It's too long, but
yeah.
Then it goes, I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived. It's काफी वैसे वाला song, but
No, I know what you
I
mean.
really
It has
like
a
it.
very
It's
good
so,
feel.
huh?
It's a very like it has a very good feel to it. Makes you feel like
I
motivated.
feel like it is like it represents the philosophy of my life. Um, what I have understood from the song is that you're supposed to do every single thing that you can,
Yeah.
and living life means that experiencing all the spectrum of emotions that are, and all the spectrum of experiences that are offered to you, and whatever you do, you have to give it your all to it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like songs like that that let you know that it's okay. Like if this is gonna happen. Like you are gonna get hurt. You're gonna fall down, but like you just keep going. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
especially like that. I broke a few bones and I lived because I literally broke a bone and I lived. So I guess that's the lesson. It's okay.
It goes, with
Happens.
every broken bone, I swear I lived.
Me too. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the whole essence behind that song. And I was just thinking there are so many people that celebrate their like 100th birthday and so on, like they cross
Yeah.
100 years and so. And there are a lot of people who celebrate the fact that these people have been physically fit enough to live to that age. And a lot of the times you'll notice that these people are also like okay in terms of health. They are not suffering from any major issues that is
Yeah.
affecting their quality of life. But we don't give enough importance to the fact that कि ठीक है तुम 100 years के age तक जिंदा हो, तुम physically fit हो, but there is no way that you are unscarred, like that you're
Definitely.
mentally you haven't been affected so badly where you don't want to live anymore, because
Oh,
there's so
definitely.
much that one goes through, right?
Yeah, and I
The
always think
process of life.
Yeah, I always think that like people who are surrounding these people who have like who are 100 90 plus 100, I always think that for them it's such a like a good thing to see that, oh, like my father, my grandfather, or like this person I know is so old. But at the same time, I can't imagine the pain that person must be going through, because as you age, like your body does start deteriorating. You have all sorts of problems. Even if you're like overall physically fine, you just with age you come to realize that your body doesn't do what it used to. And that must be like such a sad thing to realize, because it's happening to me at this age. Like I'm at this age, I think that, oh, like I can't, like my body can't do what it used to do like at 17, 18. Sometimes I'll be like staying up the entire night and I'll think I could do this when I was 18, but I can't do this anymore. So like just that
Hmm.
realization that these people must be having, that like they just can't do things
Just for
anymore.
context, guys, Charu broke her leg recently,
Yeah,
and
sadly.
is your cast off, or
Yeah, it came off. It just
but you're going
like,
through physical therapy right now?
no, no, I don't like my the cast was
You
on
don't
for
need
like
it.
6 weeks, and then I put like a bandage on it and I was using a stick. So now
Hmm.
it's almost back to normal. Like I can walk normally, but like now here it's gotten quite like quite cold. So in the morning, especially like after sunset, it gets like chilly. Like you have to wear like one light sweater or something. So because of the winter, it's hurting. Like when it gets cold, it starts hurting so badly that I have to sit down for a bit. Because yesterday I had,
Uh,
like I told you, I had gone out. Like when we were coming back, it was so cold. I was literally shivering. I was just saying, I just want to reach home today. I will never go out again. Just get me back home because it hurt so bad.
uh,
Yeah.
okay. I was laughing in my head, thinking like I was talking about this other thing, and then you connected it to your
Yeah,
um broken.
I know. Sad times.
Okay. So, are there any ghazals that you would like to share?
Yeah, I did like think of like a few. Let me see which one I thought
Yeah.
of. So I this is one, प्यार मुझसे जो किया तुमने, this by Jagjit Singh, and he says, the song goes, प्यार मुझसे जो किया तुमने तो क्या पाओगे, मेरे हालात की आंधी में बिखर जाओगे, then it says, हाँ, it says रंज और दर्द की बस्ती का बाशिंदा हूँ मैं, ये तो बस मैं हूँ कि इस हाल में जिंदा हूँ. And I really like that. Like I like such interpretations of love as well. Like in which he's saying that, oh, life is so difficult, and like वो तो मैं हूँ इसलिए मैं जिंदा हूँ. Like I am the one who's alive. I really like such songs. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, that's lovely. So, like, this is one of the few. I think you had ये हमारी बात हुई थी when you had explained this ghazal to me last year when I was visiting you or something,
हाँ
and there
हाँ
was
हाँ.
some other one that you had connected it to. Do you remember?
Which one?
But
No, I don't
you
remember
told
anymore.
me तूने ऐसे explain किया था कि ये वाला तो तूने बताया था, and you had connected it to another one that you thought of as a continuation to this.
Oh, I don't remember that to this song. I remember, like, say, I remember what you're talking about. But I don't remember which song that was. I know what you're talking about. Because I have this habit, like, I like to connect, like, these
हाँ.
songs to each other, saying कि अच्छा ये बढ़ता जा रहा है, बढ़ता जा रहा है. I don't remember that thing, but I will find that out. So, हाँ.
Okay. Okay. So YP in the comments has said Helplessness Blues by Fleet Foxes. So I haven't heard this song. Have you?
I haven't either.
But I'll definitely go check out the lyrics. Satyajit is sing Shallow from A Star Is Born. It is a very beautiful song.
It
I
is.
really like maybe it's the what is that song? ये पूरा Bradley Cooper का है. Let the Old Times Die or something like this. Do you know what I'm talking
From
about?
this movie?
हाँ, A Star Is Born.
Oh, I,
Wait.
sorry.
Yeah, I found it. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Yeah, I
I did.
really like the lyrics of the song. It basically talks about how um he really wants to clean up his act, and he wants to let life that was happening in a certain way. He realizes now it's time to let go of that and to start again. Um, so that one's really beautiful. Then the fuck is saying scared to be lonely by Dua Lipa. I just realized this.
Someone in the comment has also said Darde Disco. Respect.
Absolutely. It's probably it's Saika Sushi, but I would have guessed it Harshali.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So we'll do 2 or 3 more songs and then we'll end the stream. I'm really happy that it's 1:30 and we've been talking. Charu and I both were a little worried that it might get awkward and we won't know what to talk about because our topics
Yeah.
weren't fleshy. But
Yeah.
how are you are you having fun? Are you liking this?
Yeah, I feel like in my head, I'm just pretending that this is just like a video call that we're on and no one can listen to this because I don't like, I don't have a social media presence. I don't make videos. Like, I'm a very, like, in that sense, I'm a little, I
This
like
is
to be
your
a little,
first stream ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also in general, I like to be a little like secluded, so to say. Like, I'm just like that. So it was a bit like right before I joined in, I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh,
Were
people will
you?
hear what I say. Yeah, I was like, I have to be careful of what I say. I don't want to say something that shouldn't be said because I'm not used to censoring
Hmm.
or like filtering myself because
Mm-hmm.
usually when we're talking, I'll just say whatever I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a
No,
few times,
I mean,
like,
I have done so many streams, but even now I get so nervous, especially with these streams where I am the one responsible and I can't rely on anyone else.
yeah,
So, and this was the first stream where I have invited someone to stream with me who has no streaming experience. So I become the one who has to take responsibility. So I
yeah,
was a little nervous. But yeah, like, you're having fun though.
I am. It just feels like any other conversation we would have. Like sometimes we just sit down and like discuss like things, just like with no like
Yeah, yeah.
this, yeah. It just feels like we are having a conversation. To me, I don't realize that people can hear it. Yeah.
Right. I think one of the biggest, I think if people are able to get past the nervousness that comes with streaming, I think one of the biggest challenges is being as eloquent as you are when the camera is off, because that is something that I still struggle with so much is that any topic, even the ones that we've discussed today, I will have the most, I mean, it's definitely better the way I explain things off stream
Yeah.
and just in casual conversations than I do here. तो अगर मेरे पास कुछ 20 मिनट का कहने का होगा, मैं सिर्फ 2 मिनट में बहुत बहुत गंदी वे में समराइज करूंगी. So
Yeah.
that is so did that happen to you? Do you think you're being able to do justice to the
No, definitely not. Because I mean, I have so many thoughts all the time. Like I have an opinion on everything. I have a thought about everything. So I feel like now, like when I'm actually like saying it, I just thinking about it before saying it. Like when I am talking to you, I don't think before I say. But like
Hmm.
now I'm thinking before I'm saying, so it feels like I'm missing a few things. Like the song we were just talking about. I've been listening to that song since I was literally a kid. I have so many feelings, thoughts, and emotions related to that song. But like now it just didn't come out. Like I couldn't think of it on the spot.
Hmm. Okay, fine. So the next song that I feel like everyone would know, which is very important to me, I'm just looking up the lyrics so that I can read them out. Um, is Rehna Tu from Delhi 6.
Hmm.
Charu, I feel like you by now must have gotten bored of the amount of times I've spoken about this song. But you know, this is like my thing that I do whenever
Yeah,
we are at parties together and I'm trying to
yeah,
talk to somebody and we're discussing something like in this domain. I'll be like, yeah, my favorite song lyrics wise, Rehna Tu. I love that. But
yeah.
she knows how obsessed I am with the song. But there is this Instagram post where I have posted a picture of you, and the lyrics of this song are the caption to that post. Uh,
I remember.
yeah. Um, so the basically what the song means to me is I it is the reason why the lyrics mean so much to me is because it represents the way I think people should love each other,
Hmm.
and the way
Hmm.
I want to be loved in the way I have loved you
Yeah.
is just in the completeness of that person. A lot of times I think with regards to people we love, we form these narratives in our head, we form a story, and when we actually have a relationship with that person, whether that be platonic, romantic, whatever, we force them to fit into that mold of that narrative.
Yeah.
And there are so many, we don't accept people for who they are completely. Even if we say that we are,
Yeah.
they sort of are playing a role in the story we've made in our head. So we are unable to accept all parts of them, especially the parts that bother us. We tend to leave them out. But in this song, I feel like it's a celebration of that, where um, it talks about how I want you to stay exactly the way you are with all your flaws.
Yeah.
Like the flaws are there on purpose, and I want them to be exactly like that. So
Um,
um, I'm gonna read out the lyrics that I like. हाँ, रहना तू है जैसा तू, थोड़ा सा दर्द तू, थोड़ा सुकून. Um, what is the main part that I keep मैं तेको बार बार सुनाती रहती हूँ वो.
मैं तो बहुत बार सुन चुकी हूँ. I've heard so many songs. Yeah. Which part are you talking about? I don't remember.
I don't know if these lyrics are मैंने कुछ गलत कॉपी किया है, बट मेरे को वो आधा वाला पार्ट नहीं मिल रहा है.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, मैं समझ गई कौन सा वाला
हम्म.
part. I know which part you're talking about. Yeah.
यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं है ये? Okay. Anyways, another line that I absolutely love is बिना
Yeah.
सजावट मिलावट ना ज्यादा ना ही कम.
Hmm.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
मैं खुश हो गई वापस वो पढ़ के. But yeah, that is why Rehna Tu is such an important song to me.
It is.
What about you? Now you share one.
Well, let me think. So you had introduced me to this artist. I'm not talking about a specific song, but you had introduced me to Billy Martin. And I absolutely love her album, Feeding Seahorses by Hand. Just every song. Like I don't know the lyrics like in between like of songs. A lot of songs I'm not that like I don't know it that much, but just the tune and everything, it is so soothing and comforting. I remember there were times when I was like studying for exams and I would play it in the background because it was so soothing. It would like feel so calming to listen to that album in particular. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I have also have
Which
like a
song
ghazal.
are you? This is the same album that has She dances.
Yeah. That album, yeah. And someone in the comment has said Kabhi Phool Dena and Kahan Ho Tum. So one of the songs I wanted to talk about was also Kahan Ho Tum. It's a ghazal, and I just really like everything about it is again so soothing. It makes me feel so like I don't know, it's emotional and at the same time it feels good. And I think I wrote it down somewhere once.
Yeah.
My laptop is
Till
struggling
then,
a
till
bit.
you pull that up, I'm gonna read this
Yeah.
one. Satyajit has said, "हाथ थाम चलना है तो दोनों के दाएं हाथ संग कैसे?" Yeah, this is the one that I was looking for. I
Yeah.
love that. दोनों के दाएं हाथ संग कैसे? Like if you want to walk together, how can both of you walk with the same hand, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
possible. So yeah. Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so the lyrics I was trying to pull up, I finally found it. So the part that I like the most, like there are two parts. The first is the beginning, which says कहाँ हो तुम चले आओ मोहब्बत का तकाजा है गमे दुनिया से घबरा कर दिल ने तुम्हें पुकारा है. And I just love thinking of that कि दुनिया से घबरा कर like it's also about like a little bit of like hiding in loves, like especially like when we look at like Indian societies, people like in relationships are so like secretive and everything because that is just how they know it is supposed to be. And it's an old ghazal, but I also connect it to the way things are now as well. कि दुनिया से घबरा कर दिल ने तुम्हें पुकारा है. And I really love that. And it could also be like about a love that is maybe not socially accepted. So कि
Hmm.
घबरा के दिल ने तुम्हें पुकारा है. I really like thinking of that. Yeah.
Ah, very beautiful. Yeah, I also have so many more songs that I wanted to discuss, but I feel like a 145 ho rahe hain. So we
Yeah.
won't be able to extend that for too long. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you guys want to see Charu again, make sure that you tell her in the comments below that she needs to come back because I have been trying to convince her for so long. When you said yes that day, I was so taken aback कि इसने इतना आसानी से बोल दिया मैंने पहले क्यों नहीं पूछा. But I remember last year मैंने तेको काफी insist किया
Yeah.
था and you weren't up for it. But did you have fun?
I did.
If I invite you again, will you come?
Yes, but next time I'll try to be like I'll practice talking beforehand because I feel like I can't speak.
That's what I'm
I
telling
really
you.
get the
Like the minute
feeling.
you're on stream, your like speaking skills just go down till here.
Yeah,
I find it so frustrating.
this same conversation, if it was just the two of us, I would be saying like the most intellectual things for no reason. Like, why am I saying it? I wouldn't know. But like here, I'm genuinely struggling to even connect words in my own head. I'm thinking कि अच्छा
Yeah.
ये ऐसा होता है वैसा होता है.
कोई बात नहीं अब ये स्ट्रीम खत्म होगी और जो हम एक्चुअल कॉन्वर्सेशन अपना स्टार्ट होगा वो मैं रिकॉर्ड
उसमें
करके
बोल
डाल.
लूंगी मैं.
Yeah. Priyanshu is saying two lost souls swimming in the fishbowl year after year. Wish you were
I
here.
wish you were here. I
We
love
both
that
have,
song.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Do
is a good
you
one.
remember that one particular memory very strong where we were having a party at my place and then we were listening to the song
I know
uh,
how which one. Yeah,
साथ में and everyone was tripping out about this one line,
yeah,
but beautiful song.
beautiful
But yeah,
song.
I had so much fun. And thank you to everyone who has joined in the live chat. मैं देख रही थी, there were around 20 people who have been here from the start. And thank you so much to everyone. Make sure you like the stream and suggest topics that you want me to stream on whenever I come on next. अब ये तो definitely होने वाला है.
Hmm.
So mostly I will be streaming once a month. We might increase the frequency, we'll see. But this is happening. And Charu, how do you feel about the name Sunday Potluck?
I like it. I do like it. Huh?
I feel like it requires a
It
little
makes
bit of
sense.
explanation,
Yeah,
but
but I feel like it makes sense. मतलब जम गया मुझे तो.
I realized all the properties, my properties that I've named on the channel and stuff, they all have to do with food, like
Yeah.
Discoveries. A lot of people thought was about food, but I wish it was about food. Like I really regret wasting that name on the show. Like it was a good
Yeah.
name for that as well, but still. But yeah, I had so much fun. We always do this one thing where we give people one word that they have to comment after the stream is over, and if they're watching later on, to show that they watch till the end. And even for the people who are in the live chat, you guys have to go and comment this. So do you have any word you would like to, anything that you want people to comment, like hashtag whatever?
Oh, no, they don't put me on the spot. I would not be able to think of one.
Anything. Okay, hashtag Jhumka. Okay, you guys,
Then
whoever
that's gonna
has
relate to the movie. वो झुमका जो गाना है, people are gonna think it's gonna start showing up in, like, when people search झुमका song, उसमें आ जाए.
chalega works. So yeah, so everyone who's watching, remember to comment on the stream also, so that it helps with the reach. A lot of people have asked me ki why did Dishaheen end, and the reason is because if like we don't get that kind of response to certain streams, it doesn't make sense to keep on putting in the effort for it, you know. Usse acha ye hota hai ki like you work on things that are getting a lot of response. So with Dishaheen, we had a very, very dedicated group of people who would watch the stream, and it was lovely, but the numbers were very, very poor. So in case you don't want the same thing to happen to this stream as well, so make sure that you help me out with the reach, like the stream, tell your friends about it, comment and stuff. And yeah, I will
I
see you.
told a lot of people, I was like, I am a streamer now,
Did
guys.
you actually? You know what
I
I'm
was
surprised about?
telling all the
That
people.
why are our friends not here? Why isn't
I
Sam
know,
and Sam
and
wasn't here?
Sam sent me a message like half an hour ago, and I was
I
like,
don't think they realized
what are you
yesterday.
doing? But I told a lot of people, I was like, guys, like, this is not my day job anymore. Now I'm a streamer. Everyone was like,
Yeah,
please
yeah,
quit
yeah.
it.
So make sure you send this link to everyone, okay?
I will.
But yeah, Ayushi, we will definitely have the perfume talk in the next stream. I'm so sorry कि मैं भूल गई. And अभी वो माहौल वैसे है ना कि हमने songs वगैरह discuss किए, तो perfume की बातें करना अभी थोड़ा ये हो जाएगा. But we'll definitely pick this up the next time. But yeah, guys, bye bye. Have a great Sunday, and I will see you guys next month. Bye. Charu, say bye.
Bye.